It is Monday, November 30th, on a wet and dreary day. But it's not all bad. You know, it's not always bad that it's like this. And we'll talk about that and some other stuff too, I'm sure. Today on Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And good morning to everyone here, all you daily drivers. Still doesn't sound right. It is a very, very wet morning, and has been for most of the evening. And I was talking about, just before I started, and I stopped myself because I wanted to talk about it here. Not that it's wind howling. There is a slight silver lining to all of this weather. And it's not a great silver lining, but you know, any silver lining in the storm, I guess. When it's like this, you know, a lot of times when I do Guy's Daily Drive, if you watch it instead of just listen to it, there's a hello, whoever you are, a couple people chiming in. Good morning. I wish I could see who it is, but I can't. Not while I'm driving. Driving, job one. So, a lot of mornings when I'm doing Guy's Daily Drive and people watch it, either while it's live, thank you again, or while, you know, after I've edited it and posted it online over onto YouTube's or whatever. In the morning, there's usually like a really, really bright sun that's coming up just over to this side, on driver's side and behind me. And it just puts out this like wicked glare. And there's not, of course, there's nothing I can do about it. It's the sun. But it does make Guy's Daily Drive sometimes a little difficult to see. However, on a morning like this, the sun is not up, obviously, and it's raining, so you get like no glare, and it's actually a much better picture than it normally is. So I'm driving in the rain, and the wind is howling, but you guys get a better picture. So, you know, win-win for you. So Thanksgiving has come and gone, and I'm on my way to work, and I'm noticing that there is very little traffic. Now, when I go to work, I go south, which is fortunately not in the same direction as most of the other traffic that's going into DC. They're all going north. So some mornings as I'm on my way in, I'll see a lot of traffic streaming north, but not today. There's very little traffic streaming in today. And it's not unusual for it to be like that on a holiday. Now, most holidays, of course, happen either on a Friday or a Monday, so you get a nice 3-day weekend. But with Thanksgiving, except for the people who go in the day after on that Friday, and there are quite a few who do, and thank you for your service, there's a lot of people that just take that Friday off. Now, this year I did take the Friday off. I don't always, but I did this year. So I had a nice 4-day weekend. But for a lot of people, why not turn a 4-day weekend into a 5-day weekend? So that's what I'm guessing a lot of people have done. They're taking today off as well. And you know, that's fine. No reason why not if you have to leave. And there's things you would rather be doing than going to work, like anything at all. The weather aside, the holiday was actually very nice. Now, I drove down, as I talked about on the last couple of Guy's Daily Drives, I drove down Tuesday and picked up Guy Jr. and brought him back up here from Richmond. It's about roughly a 2-hour drive there and a 2-hour drive back, which makes for a long day of driving. Now, it's not really all that far. What makes it a pain in the ass is just the traffic. Traffic in this area is just so bad that it's not until you actually get past Richmond, as I do when I go to Florida. Hold on. When I go past Richmond, going to Florida, there's really not much in the way of traffic going south until you get all the way down to Jacksonville. Jacksonville can be a pain in the ass. But from Richmond, Virginia, all the way down to Jacksonville, that's through North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, you know, that's a lot of miles. That's, let's see, 180 and 190 is 370. It's roughly 500 to 600 miles, probably closer to 600 miles, that you have very little traffic, and that's a good thing. You know, it's just the bit between here in Richmond. That's about, once you get past Richmond, about 120 miles, and then Jacksonville, which is kind of a pain in the ass. And because I don't go all the way down to South Florida anymore, just go to Daytona. Once you pass like the Jacksonville, St. Augustine area, it's not too bad. And from there to Daytona, usually not too much traffic. Occasionally I don't know how I got on this subject, occasionally I will, from St. Augustine, go over to A1A and then drive A1A down to Daytona. It certainly takes longer, but it's a much more scenic drive than just your typical interstate. And after some 800 miles, more or less, of interstate, it's good to see something a little different. Now I keep going over and looking at, I've talked about this, looking at schoolie videos, people who've taken school buses and converted them into RVs, or who have like Westfala VW vans with some built-in camping stuff. And there's actually a guy, if you like these kinds of things, and it's kind of interesting, there's a guy on YouTube called Foresty Forest. I'm pretty sure that's his name. And he has a Chevy minivan that he's kind of turned into an RV. Now, on top of it being like his living space, he has a bicycle with like those great big huge tires. And the reason why he has those is he mostly travels in the north. So like northern part of the US, Canada, Alaska, all the way up to like the Arctic Circle. The ones I've been watching recently have been from the end of last year, where he literally drove about as far north as a regular person can drive. And what's kind of cool about his channel, Foresty Forest, is on top of, you know, just videos of him and, you know, driving in the car, he goes on these long hikes up mountains and you know, can't always do it because of conditions. And it's very scenic, very beautiful. He has a drone that he flies around somehow while he's driving. I'm not sure how he manages that, but it's kind of some really cool shots. And he works really hard at making the video look nice for his channel. He also does things about how he feeds himself while he's in this minivan. He's got like this little kitchen, and he's got an induction burner, and he also has a crock pot, and he makes pizza. He makes deep dish pizza in this crock pot, and it's really kind of cool to watch how he does all these things. So he'll basically, and he's got like solar panels on top of the minivan, so he has power. when the van isn't running. So he shows us how he prepares the meal, because it's a crock pot, slow cooker, so it can be 4 to 6 hours before it's done, and he's got timers set up and all kinds of things. So if he knows he's going to be away longer, he has the timer set up so that it's going to start after he leaves the van, and just keep it warm until he gets home or back to the van. But he's chopping meat, he's chopping vegetables, he's doing all this prep work before he goes on these big long hikes. And then he gets it all set, he gets it into the crock pot, and then he goes on his hike. And it's just kind of cool to watch. And this is an older Chevy Mini. Now, this isn't something I could do, because I'm just too tall for that kind of vehicle. He's like 5'7", so he has a lot more room inside of a minivan than I would. But it's fascinating to me how people will take all different kinds of vehicles, and whether they're trucks or minivans or U-Haul, old U-Haul moving trucks, school buses, airport. I've seen they took some of those airport vans that they use to take people out to long distance parking, or move them to different terminals, things along those lines. And they'll turn those into RVs. It's ingenious what some of these people will do. And I'm really enjoying it. And it's the kind of thing, I think, if I had the money, that I would really enjoy doing, just kind of traveling around, living in a van. Now, of course, the downside to this is he doesn't have a shower, and he doesn't have a toilet. So he like stealth camps in shopping centers and things along those lines. And I'm sure he has supplies for emergency situations, shall we say. But he doesn't really talk about that on his channel, understandably so. Who wants to hear about that? But check out his channel on YouTube, Foresty Forest, and his Chevy minivan of doom that he drives all the way up to the Arctic Circle. Kind of cool. But that is going to do it for today's Guy's Daily Drive. Kind of a rambling show, but that's fine. Didn't even end up talking much about Thanksgiving. Maybe in the next one I'll talk about Thanksgiving. Watch what you're doing here, buddy. Don't leap out. Driving is job one. Always pay attention to what you're doing while you're driving. This is a big vehicle as compared to most other things. It's a Kia Soul, so it shouldn't do too much damage, hopefully. Anyway, if you'd like to get a hold of me, guy@mymac.com is the email address. You can reach out to me on the Twitters. I am MacParrot and or VertShark over there on the Twitters. VertShark.com is the website for all of the audios and the videos. You can leave comments there on things. MyMac.com podcast is my main podcast. You can find out more information about that at MyMac.com. I do that nearly every week. We just released a new show with Mr. Gazmaz, and we have a great time doing it. That's like one of my favorite parts of the week, is when I sit down and record the MyMac Podcast with Gaz. Wednesday nights is the Mac to the Future livecast that I do with David Ginsburg and Warren Sklar over there, right here, as a matter of fact, on the Facebooks, as well as the YouTubes. And speaking of YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, VertShark, which I guess it's more of a playlist, but you can still subscribe to it. Then hit that bell and get notifications and do the like thing and all kinds of stuff like that. Hold on a second. Here we go. And if you do go over to YouTube for any particular length of time, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Did you catch that? I'll do it again. Like, share, subscribe. So easy. It's all you got to do. What else? Oh, yeah. If you'd like to help support my channel and the things that I do, greatly appreciated. If you do, I'll keep doing it even if you don't. You can go to patreon.com/MacParrot. You can go to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. And you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. Those are all ways that you can help support me and my crazy habits of podcasting and live casting, all of which cost me money. But I do it because I love you all. No, I do it because I like talking and hearing myself talk. Who couldn't have figured that out? All right, that is going to do it. Thank you all so very much for watching and or listening to Guy's Daily Drive. I really appreciate the fact that you have done so. And I will see you, yes, you, right here next time on Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.